For the very same reason that the United States has gotten involved in situations in Yemen and Somalia and Pakistan, the U.S. is now entering into what's happening in this Western African nation. Okay, so this is Mali. The reason to stop al-Qaeda. Here's what Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta said just yesterday. Here you go. We have a responsibility to go after al-Qaeda wherever they are. We have a responsibility to make sure that al-Qaeda does not establish a base for operations in North Africa and Mali, end quote. A rebel group has been aligning with al-Qaeda to try to take over the government here, and they have been gaining territory. And this is why we mentioned France a moment ago. This is why France has entered the conflict, actually putting up to 800 troops on the ground to keep the capital city from rebel control. The United States plans to assist French operations. And here's one more reason why you should watch what's happening in Mali and the developments there, because more of your tax dollars may be going there.
The funding mechanism for the UN mission is still being worked out, but we are assuming that the U.S. will be asked to contribute significantly, as we did to the Somalia operation. So to get a jump on that, we are using some of our existing funding that we already have in the budget, and we'll be going to the Congress for additional funding over the coming days.
Chris Lawrence, let me go to you at the Pentagon, because, or our Pentagon correspondent, I should say, the U.S. will not be sending in ground troops. So how exactly will our military help in Mali?
Well, Brooke, they're considering sending big Air Force cargo planes to get more French troops and heavy equipment vehicles into the fight there. Also considering putting up more drones and spy planes to get a better sense of what's happening on the ground. And they may be sending some aerial refueling crafts so that those French jets can refuel while they're in the air and do more sustained, longer missions.
Why not boots on the ground?
Short answer, Mali is a mess in a lot of ways. The U.S. still has 66,000 troops in Afghanistan that they're trying to draw down. And the U.S. Special Forces trained some of the Mali army soldiers, trained them how to shoot, taught them how to kill, gather intel. One of the Mali commanders actually came to the United States several times to get training, and then they defected, went over to the other side. They were supposed to help bolster the government. Instead, they were the ones leading the coup.
You say Mali is a mess. There has to be some kind of concern, Chris, that al-Qaeda fighters could launch an attack on the U.S.
Yeah, they don't think that concern is today. What they're worried about is tomorrow. Listen to what one analyst says who has studied this part of Africa extensively.
This is the big fear that's driving France, that's driving the United States, that it becomes a magnet for jihadist groups worldwide, that they may link up with groups and disenfranchised youth in Nigeria and Western Africa, or even as far as Somalia and al-Shabaab.
So they didn't think these rebels in Mali were going to aggressively take the territory that they did. The long-term concern is that it becomes sort of a pot where all of these elements from all over start to gather. And if that area then became a safe haven, it could be used to launch attacks down the road. That's why this sort of strike now to try to cut that off at the pass, bro.
Pentagon correspondent Chris Lawrence. Chris, appreciate it.